Welcome to Nirmit Academy. In continuation with the previous contents, we have completed third class EVS contents in the previous video. Now we'll go with the fourth class EVS contents which are present in our textbook, SCERT. So which will be very useful for upcoming TET exam. So first topic is changing family structure. The change in a family structure will happen because of entry of a new person or the exit of a previous person. So the entry of the new person may happen because of marriage or because of birth of a girl or a boy child. Or a person may leave a family because of job or because of education, or there may be an death. So because of that, there will be a change in a family called as changing in family structure. So the family do not remain same always. It changes. It changes due to various reasons, right? So whatever it may be the change, the each and every family member, they need to work themselves. They should work manually as far as possible, and they need to reduce the usage of electrical appliances. So if they work manually, if they work hard manually, they can remain active and healthy, and they can realize the value of work. And not only that, they can make a good relationship among the family members. So coming to the next content, different games and rules. Rules of a game. So any game that should possess a definite rules, and each and every player of that game should obey those rules and regulations, right? So not only for the games, for the traffic also there are some rules and regulations, especially to avoid traffic jam and accidents. So on a road you can find a signaling system, right? The signaling system shows a red color, orange color, and the green color. Whenever we find a red color, we need to stop, and whenever we find an orange color, we need to get ready to move. Right? So when you find a green color, we need to move. We need to go. Right? So these are the rules to be followed in order to avoid the traffic jam and the accidents. And one more important rule of road is we need to walk only on the left side of the road. And we need to cross road at a zebra crossing. Okay, so as the games have rules, traffic has some rules, and even a school has certain rules and regulations. Certain rules and regulations in order to make a person well-being for a society. Those rules like maintaining assembly, a perfect timetable, midday meals, and sports, some PTM like parents teacher meeting, etc. All these are considered in the school rules and regulations. Okay. So not only a school, even a person at an individual level, the person should possess a personal body safety rules. So we need to follow our safety rules for our safety. For our safety, like we need to wear good dress in order to guard our body. And we should not speak with the strangers, and we should not make others to touch our body. So all these are the rules to be followed in our for our safety. Right now, coming to few games, few sports where and few games are persons. Like Sakshi Malik is a good wrestling person, and Vijendra Singh boxing, Linear Peace tennis, Saina Nehwal badminton, Sania Mirza tennis, Vishwanathan Anand chess, Mary Kom boxing, Koneru Hampi chess, Karanam Malleshwari weightlifting, Gagan Narang shooting, PT Usha athlete, and you know about javelin throw, right? Javelin throw, even javelin throw, Neeraj Chopra, javelin throw. So in any game or any sports, you could find a victory or defeat. So victory and the defeat are not important. Important should be given for the skill, how we are exhibiting a skill and how the skill is improved from the previous. That should be given highest priority, right? So even for children also, they have a right to play. So they have a right to play, and the play time is from evening 4 o'clock to 6 p.m. This time is considered as a play time for the children. So the children are allowed to play during this time, so in order to make themselves very active. Okay, so they need to be an active, right? At the same time, when they play, when they involve themselves in the playing activities, the blood circulation increases, the supply of oxygen to the brain also increases. Because of that, they have good grasping power, and they relieve from the stress and the strain. And because during a play, they may lose different impurities present in their body in the form of sweat. So all these are the benefits of the playtime. So all the children are allowed to play during that period. Right? Now coming to the next topic, various types of animals. So we could find different type of animals around us. Some live along us and some in a forest. So ears of some animals has been seen or they are visible, and whereas for some animals ears are not visible. Hair on their skin, those are going to give a birth to a baby. So those are going to give a birth to a baby. Whereas the animals whose ears are not visible, they are hidden, whose ears are not visible, and they have no hair on their skin, those lays eggs. Those lays eggs. So this is what the difference between a viviparous and viviparous. Okay. So viviparous means which give birth to the young one. Young one. That will be a viviparous. That means they have the visible ears and hair on their skin. Okay. So animals which lays eggs, which lays eggs are called as oviparous, and that means that their ears are not visible and they doesn't have hair on their skin. Okay, so what are the uses of animals? Especially hair and the skin of animals are used in different areas. Hair and the skin of any animal is meant to protect the animal from cold and heat. So using that animal skin, the people are preparing footwear, musical instruments, and even clothes, right? Even animals gives us food, and they are also used in the agriculture purpose. They are used in the transportation. Different areas we use animals. Okay. So if we see in Telangana, the government has declared deer as state animal. So we could find these deers in Nalamala forest. So why they have selected as as a state animal? Because of its innocent, active and attractive with their big eyes and the beautiful horns. Our national animal is tiger and the state animal is deer. Lifestyle of animals, or simply you can call it as a biodiversity. So human beings live in a family. So we are called as social animals. We are dependent on each other for food, clothes, vehicle, etc. So even animals will live in groups. Let me talk about an example. Elephant. If we see an elephant lives in herds. Group of elephants are called as herd. So in a herd, we can find 10 to 12 elephants with their babies. Female elephants are more in number in a group. And if you see the male elephant leave the herd as they reach 15 years. At the age of 15, they are going to leave the herd. The old female elephant leads the herd, and their journey starts in the morning with a trumpet and other follows the female elephant. They live in groups to ensure the protection of their babies, and in search of food and the defense from the enemies. Tigers. Now we'll talk about the tiger. The tigers are also they are in groups. Tigers are perfect in hunting And their cubs. The baby of tiger is called as a cub. The cubs, they don't know the hunting, but they are going to learn by seeing their elders. So if you see the birds, even a birds live in group and in order to remain protected from the enemies. Young ones observe the adult and learn hunting, escaping, and searching for locating the water resources by observing their adults. The group of birds is called as flock. They have a capacity, the flock of birds have a capacity to travel thousands of kilometers in search of food and shelter. They eat insects, fish, and small organisms present in the water. So, we know about our great scientist, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He used to observe the birds flying at a sea coast every day. His observation helped him in future research and experimentation on rockets. So, observing, acquiring knowledge, setting our goals, working hard towards the goal made him a great man. So all he started observing the nature. Especially he started observing the birds, and he have learned so many things, and he have implemented it also. And if you see a greatness of birds, some of the birds they live in the nest, right? So they live in their shelter is the nest. So if we see some birds like male tailor bird, it will prepare its nest by piercing the edge of the leaves. By piercing the edge of the leaves and with the saw and together with the plant fibers, they are going to make a nest. Now, this nest is made by a male tailor bird. The female tailor bird will come and lays the eggs, hatches, and leaves the nest. The new nest will be created or weaved by the male tailor bird again. Dr. Salim Ali, an ornithologist of India, he researched and written a lot on birds, and his work is recognized and renowned globally with many awards. Right? So next, Indian roller or blue jay, it is considered as our state bird, Palapita. Right? It is a rare bird, and it is seen during. It is people think that if we see the blue jay on the day of Dasara, it will be a good luck. So these birds number is decreasing because of fertilizers used in the agriculture, because of the mobile radiations, or because of the pollution present in the environment. Because of all these reasons, the birds number has been reduced. Now coming to the important thing, insects and the colonies. So if we see a beehive has many compartments. Each bee lives in one compartment. So thousands of bees are living together to form a hive. So bees are called as social animals. So we may get a question stating that it is a social insect. So we can get a question stating that which among the following is a social insect. Humans are social beings or social animals, or now the social insect is bees, which lives in a beehive. Honey is produced from the bee, and from a sugary secretions they collect from the flowers. So that is nothing but the nectar. So if you observe the bee sting is poisonous. So the bee sting contains a chemical called as formic acid. Ants also live in groups, and they are called as ideal social beings because of their discipline and the division of the labor. Even in a ant group, there will be a queen ant, male ant, and worker ant. The queen ant lays the eggs. Worker ants, the female ants, they always protect the eggs, repair the ant hill, and procure the food for the future. Right? Even a hill of the ant is also divided into many compartments. Even ant secretes the secretions and it gives a smell. And based on the smell, the other members of the colony will follow them. So you could observe that when ants are moving from here and there, they start touching each other. So generally they touch each other to pass the information on food resources and the route to reach the food resource. So, and you know about the interesting thing about an ant? Ant can lift 50 times of its weight. So, biodiversity. Biodiversity means existing of various types of animals, birds, insects, plants in a single place. All are living together, right? That will be a biodiversity. Everyone has a right to live, all are dependent, and it's our duty to protect each and every organism. Why? Because we are not a creator to destroy it. So we are not a creator. So each and everyone has a right to live. Every organism has a unique body structure, food habits, and the lifestyle, and this speciality indicates the diversity. Due and this biodiversity is lost, or it is losing because of the civilization, urbanization, industrialization, deforestation. These are the activities done by the human for their luxuries, for their benefits. Because of that, the nature biodiversity is being lost. So we must protect the plants and animals, and we should not pollute the environment, because we need to protect the nature. Then only our life will be at a safer side. So, yeah, and coming to the next one, the endangered species. Endangered species means these are the organisms which are at the stage of extinction. That means which if we are not taking care of those animals, they will become extinct. Such are called as endangered species. So they are endangered. They are becoming endangered because of human activities only. Because of deforestation, because of animal products, we started killing the animals, and they are at the risk of extinction. That should be protected. We need to protect all those animals, all those endangered species. Now, coming to the plants around us, you could find different plants and trees around. So, if you see the nature, we have an aesthetic sense. So, we need to enjoy the beauty of the nature. It makes us so pleasant. So, we could find different plants like climbers, creepers, shrubs, and trees. So, plants like ridge gourd, bitter gourd, jasmine have weak stems and usually grow on trenches, trees, or on ground, or on any other support. So those are called as climbers. They're climbing a wall or climbing a tree, or the creepers which generally move on the ground. So in plants like nerium, rose, etc., you could find multiple stems arising from a base. Okay, so you could find those are called as shrubs. So creepers and the climbers and shrubs. Creepers means they creep on the land. Climbers means they are going to climb the walls, or it can be a tree, or in that way. So if they have multiple branches from a base, we could call it as a shrubs. Now if we see the plants like tamarind, mango grow very vast, grow in in size, big size. So those are called as trees. So we get wood from these trees. So parts of the plants are roots, shoot, flowers, fruits. So roots are below the soil. They are present in the soil. They are the main part of the plant, why? Because it absorbs the water and nutrient from the soil and supplies through the xylem and the phloem. You know about a xylem and the phloem vascular bundles present in a plant. So they start distributing the water and the food among all the plant parts. So coming to the stem, leaves and flowers, they are above the soil. Stem gives rise to a branch, and somewhat like it is a backbone to a plant, and other parts like fruits, flowers, and leaves. The stem of all plants are not similar. They have thorny, or some have bark, and some have soft nature, and some have rough nature. So they in the plant, photosynthesis will happen in the leaves, and the energy or the food will be deposited over there. Through the vascular bundles, the food will be distributed to the entire plant. So leaves, flowers, and fruits. So as I mentioned you just now, the green color in plants is due to the presence of chlorophyll pigments. So in the chlorophyll pigment, we have a chloroplast. In a chloroplast, photosynthesis will happen. Sunlight will be absorbed by the leaves and they prepare a food using carbon dioxide and water. Or whatever the food it is generated, it is stored in the form of seeds, fruits, and tubers, etc. Animals get energy by taking food from the plants. So we call the plants as autotrophs. Why? Because they can synthesize their own food. Whereas the animals are called as heterotrophs. They can't prepare their own food. They only depend on the others like plant. They may depend on plant, they may depend on the other animals. So if we see a largest flower in the world is Rafflesia. The diameter of that flower is 1 meter. Just imagine it is 1 meter diameter and it has a weight of 7 to 10 kgs. And if we see that it emits a smell of rotten meat that can spread up to 2 kilometers. So flowers are one of a livelihood for most of the people, and flowers starts converting into fruits. Flowers changes into a fruit, like in case of guava, in case of pomegranate, bitter gourd, ridge gourd. You could find the flowers first it blooms and later it converts to a flower. So honeybees, butterflies, etc. They are going to suck the nectar from these flowers and they prepare their food and it will be stored. And so we can say that the plants not only benefit for the humans and other animals, they are also benefit for the insects also. And the insects in turn help the plant by pollination. In order to transfer the pollen grains, they are also useful. They are going to act as a vectors. Now the seeds will be germinated into a new plant. Now we could find different types of seeds. Irrespective of the size of the seed, size of the tree, we could find size of the seeds. When you see a banyan tree it is big. The tree is very big. But if you find the seeds of that banyan, it is very small. It's small. And if you see the coconut tree, it is big. Right? It's big, it's tall and big. And if you see the seeds also big. Right? And some have hard shell seeds, castor seeds, tamarind seeds, and some seeds are soft shell like sesame, coriander, and many seeds. There are many seeds in one fruit. Like pomegranate, you could find many seeds. Guava also you could find many seeds. And in some fruits you could find a single seed. Like mango, you could find only a single seed. Coconut also a single seed. Germination of a seed. So in order to germinate the seed, it requires air, water, and temperature. And the soil should be a fertile soil. It should possess soil, and the soil should be a fertile. Okay. The fertility of the soil is mainly because of the microorganisms present in the soil. The microorganisms which are present in the soil, they degrade the debris part, plant debris or animal dead bodies. They are going to decompose. So when they decompose, they are going to release components, simpler compounds. Now that will be a manure. So it will be a fertile. Okay, it will be a fertile for the plant growth. And you could find a earthworm. Earthworm is used in the preparation of vermicompost. And not only that, it is a good farmer friend. You know about one important thing regarding wheat grains. Wheat grains are imported from America. So during this process of import, so there is a entry of a wheat, Parthenium. It is generally called as Vayaribama in Telugu. So that has been entered into the country from America. So it is a wheat. And because of this Parthenium, skin and lung diseases are caused, especially because of the pollen grains of this wheat. And you could find the seeds are dispersed. Seeds are moving here and there. They are carried by the insects, they are carried by the wind. Simply they will be moving in a wandering in the wind. So one of an example is Calotropis gilledu chettu. So from that you could find the seeds, they are moving because of the white color fibrous material. So And one more important word in this concept is nurseries. Nursery means a place where you could find a variety of plants. Variety of plants will be grown over there. We could find a bonsai plants, and you could find a cactus type, from cactus a desert plant, and you could find a small sized a tiny plants like bonsai plants in the nursery. There are various methods to produce like grafting is one of a method, tissue culture, sprinkling of the seeds is also one of the method in order to generate or in order to produce the new plants. And generally nurseries have a controlled climate by shades, by using a poly houses, and they play a vital role. These nurseries play a vital role in protecting the environment. Coming to the next important topic, directions. Finding the way through the direction. So direction is very important to locate a place or an object. So we need to say right or left or east or west. You need to mention, in order to locate a place, you need to mention a direction. So how to find a north, east, south, west? We need to face towards the sun and we need to stretch our two arms. So when we stretch our two hands, what happens? If your right hand is projected towards the south, the left hand will be projecting towards the north, and since our face is towards the sun, the back side represents our west. So this is about the north, south, east and west directions by using a sun. And we could find a boundary, a line which makes the limit of an area. So you could find an area which limits, right? So that is called limits in village, or that limits a mandal, or it can be a state, or it can be a country. That is called as boundaries. Usually you can see all these boundaries on a map. So on a map, you could find an up arrow. Up arrow indicates the north side. So even in a village, there will be a villages, right? Even a village has a boundary. So group of villages constitute a mandal. Right? In every mandal, there are offices like Mandal Praja Parishad, Hasildar Office, Department of Agriculture and Electricity Office, Primary Health Care Center, a police station. People generally visit mandal headquarters in order to address the different problems. So many villages, as I mentioned you, many villages are forming a mandal. Many mandals are combined with each other to form a district. So in every district there is a collectorate office, a Jilla Parishad office, district hospital and many such public institutions. So in our state there are 33 districts. 33. Earlier it is 31. 31 plus 2 it is 33 districts in our state. Okay. So in a state there is a village, group of villages converted to a mandal, group of mandals it is recognized as a district, group of district it is a state. So Hyderabad is the capital of Telangana, and we people celebrate different festivals and we follow different cultures and the traditions. So the rivers which flow in our state are Godavari, Krishna, Tungabhadra and Musi. And there are different forest areas spread across our districts. So in Telangana we grow crops like paddy, jowar, maize and sugarcane. So Telangana state is formed on as 29th state of India on 2nd June 2014. Usually maps are displayed in railway station and other places. Maps also tells about the climate, rainfall and temperature. Thank you.